right. Welcome to KitaCast, episode 4.
4?
I know, right?
Holy fuck.
I can't believe it either. Right now, speaking right into your ears is Nedu, also known as Albel.
You've got Garry over here.
Yeah.
You can't tell which direction, I don't think, but it's okay.
The left or right? Doesn't
Get
matter.
some really nice stereo headphones,
yeah, you have
and
stereo
you might be
headphones.
able to.
And if you're in stereo, you'll be able to tell that Dandroid is on the left.
Ooh, man. There's all kinds of directional stuff.
Your left or microphone left?
You know what? Shut up. It doesn't matter.
There's all kinds of directional stuff going on here. But in directions...
We could just all scream once and no one would know what was going on. So.
That's okay.
But directions are not our topic. Our topic today is Let's Plays. Interesting stuff happened in the news this week, which actually prompted, Garry and Dan kind of brought it to my attention. So I was like, you know what, let's talk about this, because I think it's a good time, considering YouTube gaming kind of debuted this
week.
Yeah, this week. It kind of came out of nowhere, too, because it was, I was signed up for, to get acknowledgement, like, when it came out, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I signed up for it and stuff, and they were like, oh, yeah, it'll probably out in the fall sometime. I get an email, like, a day before it happens, like, oh, yeah, it's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
What?
Here.
We had no time to prepare.
Kita, YouTube gaming.
Yeah,
well,
like, it was just like, bam, here you go. Like, okay.
Be ready for some of that in the future, because we...
Oh, yeah, because that is happening. We've been planning Twitch for a while now, but you know what? Maybe we'll just... do our YouTube thing.
Great.
And,
audio only.
We'll hop in on the YouTube thing, because it'll be all-encompassing, it'll all be on their same channel and stuff, and you guys can enjoy that all in one realm.
Yeah. Well, the whole Twitch versus YouTube kind of brings up kind of an interesting thing for obvious reasons. I mean, Twitch has been the premier streaming thing for quite a while.
Justin TV.
I was going to say, it used to be Justin TV.
I literally think there's nothing else out there like Twitch. Or if there is, nobody uses it. Twitch is like the only game in town, basically. So
I guess like Nico is like kind of similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but that's mainly only in Japan. People don't really care about it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's more of a region thing.
When I bought a PS Vita, it had Nico on it.
So
and it was trying to push that program, but it never really happened.
So you could broadcast from your Vita then?
Oh yeah, and then people comment, and the comments scroll across the screen. You see any Japanese YouTube video, and there's comments flying across the screen, and
colorful, bright rainbow
letters. That's how they do it in Nico.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm wondering, have you guys actually checked out YouTube gaming at all? What do you guys think of the setup?
I haven't gotten to personally check it out. I've done a bit of reading on it, and I think they're going in the right direction. Because I think with Twitch being kind of the only deal in town for so long now, they've really been able to, see what works and what doesn't, and where things can be improved, and I mean, it's YouTube and Google. They've got more money than anyone else, so they've had time to sit back and figure out all kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And I think that from what I've read so far, it seems like they've come up with a great way of working it, because it's not just a website. It's not just go to our website, log in, and do this thing. They have it everywhere. They have it as a program and an app, and you can do all these awesome things with it. So it's not just Twitch clone at this point. It's it's almost like YouTube Twitch 2.0 kind of thing. So I'm really excited to see where it goes, and kind of being almost on the ground floor of it, because when we start doing it, it's going to be fairly new, whereas if you hop into Twitch, there's millions and millions of people on there already doing their thing, because that's all Twitch is for. Whereas YouTube, there's millions of people on there, but they're just there with their videos. People have just started to get into the gaming thing, because obviously it only came out this week, so I think that's really exciting to kind of be in on something newer for once.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't really had a chance to check it out, but like you said, it's pretty much where you want it to be going, especially with a big name like YouTube. It's already integrated with all our YouTube stuff.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's really easy to switch into there. It's easy for a channel that exists to switch into something.
You can log in and get your messages, your fan base. I think that's one of the biggest factors of it too, is that you carry your fan base with you. Because if you were popular on YouTube, all of a sudden you went to Twitch and you're like, hey guys, I'm doing Twitch stream, and you got to tell everyone. Yeah. Everyone has to migrate over, and you lose people that way, and that's never a good thing when it comes to Let's Play.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I actually checked it out a little bit when it was released again. I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize this was actually a thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting because there's a couple things that kind of stuck out to me. One was the interface at first seemed kind of cluttered, but I'm not a huge Twitch user at all, so I can't really compare it to Twitch's interface that well. I remember, like, sometimes I have got websites that I follow, or, you know, channels that I follow, like Rocket Jump, or sometimes Geek and Sundry, and they'll like, oh, hey, they're on Twitch, so I'll just follow that link and watch their stuff. So I don't really know the Twitch interface, but this one, it seemed a little cluttered, but there's a couple things that I really like, though. One was because it is already integrated to your YouTube account. You see a bunch of, like, it'll actually link you to a bunch of videos that you are likely to like, whether they're actually part of the, they're not actually streams, but they're like, hey, you visit Game Grumps a lot, here's some Game Grumps stuff that you can to click on. But they have, like, a main stream going on at the time. The two things that I watched while I was using it was, I guess there was a PAX panel, so that was kind of cool. And the other thing is, I guess, Matt Pat from Game Theory, he's been talking about wanting to do streaming for quite a while.
Right.
And he started off with using this platform. I think I messaged you guys at the time, but he started off, the first things he did was doing Mario Maker on stream, and it was kind of cool because I opened it up, and I didn't realize that he was starting it so soon, but I was like, oh, I'm going to check this out. And then right there, I'm like, hey, this is a guy that I follow quite often, and he's doing a stream for a game that I'm really interested in. Clicked on it, it was super easy to kind of get into. So, yeah, that was kind of neat. I'm really excited to see, like, just like you guys say, I'm really excited to see what other kind of stuff you see from it. And I think it's a good place to watch, like, again, you're already integrated in it. It's a good place to watch stuff coming out of PAX and all the panels and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, because I think it kind of reaches beyond that, because I know that there's other stuff on Twitch, but, again, I think YouTube made YouTube gaming-centric, because they knew that that's what people mostly use it for. Like, you can watch other stuff on Twitch, but there's not nearly as much. Like, gaming is, like, a good chunk of what happens on there. So I think YouTube, even though you could technically use it for other stuff, they put it right out front. YouTube gaming, that's what we do, like that. And I think that was smart of them to do that, because you know, that's where they're going to, I think, draw on more people to do it. I'm sure there's going to be tons of people leaving Twitch to come back to YouTube gaming now that it's available. And they're marketing it out there like, this is what you're going to get when you come here.
But that also comes with a bunch of issues, because, like, YouTube has a lot of copyright stuff that Twitch doesn't.
This is because we were talking about this, is that basically YouTube, that's kind of the toss-up between YouTube and Twitch. They both seem to have a lot of these kind of pros and cons to them, and I mean, you're never really going to get away from that. I mean, legal issues are legal issues. You're going to have them no matter where you go. But one of the simple examples that I found out only a couple of weeks ago, because we were looking into doing Twitch streaming and stuff like that, is that apparently on Twitch, and I didn't know this before, you can't drink a beer, and you can't do any kind of drugs. Not that we were going to do drugs. I was not going to, smoke a ball on screen or anything like that. But no, you can't. You literally can't drink a beer while you're playing a game, and that just struck me as so odd, because it's like, you can watch alcohol consumption on so many other things. Why not on Twitch, which is just usually a bunch of people hanging out playing games or doing something. It's even
acceptable on TV nowadays.
Exactly. I mean, it's just kind of gone the wayside, and I don't know why they have this almost archaic law to it like that. So I get the drug use thing, because, it's still legal in some states and obviously in provinces and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's fine. But on the flip side of that, YouTube has no laws on that. You could just come on screen, high as a kite, smoking a bowl with a beer in your hand. They won't give a shit. They just won't even care that you're doing that.
As long as you don't start singing.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you don't start singing something by Madonna or the Beatles, they don't fucking care that you're doing drugs and drinking on camera. Which, I don't know, again, it seems very backwards, but you know what? Whatever. They have their pros and cons, and that's kind of the way they're going to be. So I guess that might divide some people, because there might be people, or there are people that do drunk streaming, and I don't know how they've been doing it on Twitch this whole time. Maybe putting it in a cup you can't see through, and saying it's
as long as they don't know what it is, like
because they can't.
I guess it's pretty obvious to see when someone gets drunk.
I'm sure that there's ways around that, but I mean, if you're doing a drunken
you can be
stream,
fake drunk anyway.
Yeah, so I know it's probably plays in that whole thing. It's like, you can't prove anything.
Yeah, you can't prove that they're drunk. Really.
But I wouldn't want to, poke the bear on that one either, because it's like, if that's your life, if that's what you're doing, and they take that away because they're like, well, you could have been drunk or you could have been doing this stuff that we don't want you to do. All of a sudden, your entire channel's ruined because you were taunting them basically.
Yeah. Oh, it's another issue that kind of comes up with the whole whether it's Twitch or YouTube is. Now, this one's not one that we can really speak on a lot because I don't think either's been super clear on it. Because, I mean, so a lot of people have contracts with Twitch, even if they have a YouTube channel, but they're supposed to have like some sort of exclusivity, cannot speak, contract with Twitch. So, but they're still not sure whether they can still do YouTube gaming streams. Because, again, there's a few people that are very prominent on YouTube, also have a Twitch channel, and these YouTubers aren't sure what's allowed and what's not. I mean, I guess it's still so new, there's probably things that'll kind of clear up as time goes. But again, also with YouTube's restrictions as far as what you can actually show when it comes to certain types of gaming and this and that, Twitch doesn't have quite as many of those restrictions, while YouTube does. So there's a bit of confusion in that aspect. A lot of people are just not sure what's allowed and what's not.
I think one of the things that comes into play on that is that you do get away with more while you're streaming.
Yeah.
Because the content isn't sitting there for them to review the whole time. You are live streaming. That's happening, and then it's never going to happen again. Unless you record it and then put it up again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're playing a game that is known to get flags on it, you could stream the shit out of that game because they're not sitting there monitoring that. Or it's very rare that they would do that and then take you down live, basically. So,
well, that's why they have their report this thing. So you can get reported, and then someone can come in and be
but
like,
your average person that came into a Let's Play wanting to watch something, like, why the fuck would they report it?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, there's just as many people that watch your videos and like them as, as many people that watch them and hate them and will comment negative stuff.
Well,
those are the same. No, those are the same kind of people that absolutely would. do that.
I guess there is that factor too.
But
there's
then,
a lot of people in enough time on their hands to do that kind of thing.
all reporting does is get someone to come look. So if they come look and you're not doing anything, then they're just going to be like, oh, there's a bunch of idiots watching.
Yeah, and even then, it's like, I don't think they have someone, like, waiting on the fucking bat phone there. It's like, oh, we got a report, get on it! And, like, they fucking dive right in.
Well, I don't know, you guys probably might know this more than me, but for YouTube, it seems like it's pretty automatic a lot of the time, where if somebody does a thing that they'll immediately flag it, or...
What YouTube does is, because, I don't know if this works on the streaming, but it works on their videos. They run it through a test to see if any exact frames happen the exact same as any of the videos they have picked as copyright stuff.
Sure.
So then if they see anything that's the exact same for a certain amount of time, then they'll be like, oh, this is ripped right from here. Because they had there was an issue this week where people were playing Mario Maker and they were playing automatic Mario levels where the level would play itself. So if you don't touch it, it looks the exact same to anybody.
It's a demo, basically.
So the first people to up this automatic Mario level or play it on YouTube was Playboy. So people are getting flagged by Playboy.
That's really funny.
Even though Playboy didn't own any of the material either.
Yes, that's
all the materials
how
owned by
broken some of those
Nintendo,
laws are, or not laws, but the
well,
rules.
it's their scanning. It's their scanning programs because.
Okay, so I guess that probably won't be quite as much of a problem.
Yeah, and they do that with music too. So if they hear a certain
it's it's the exact same thing with the stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing none of us are great singers.
Alright, you purposely messed it up.
Yeah, that too. Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, I guess it's so new, it's hard to see what exactly is going to, is going to happen. I mean, the big question, of course, on everybody's minds is YouTube gaming going to overtake Twitch? Is this a real competitor? I know things like Awesome Games Done Quick and He Gets Hungry do a lot of streams on Twitch where you're watching it, and they do that for event stuff, especially when they're raising money. I'm wondering if we're going to see that them switch over, or if they have exclusivity contracts that restrict them from doing that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the type of thing, contracts are going to be about the only thing that really hold people back. Either that or some kind of loyalty. They're going to be like, well, fuck YouTube for this or that or whatever. But, I mean, it's where are you hosting your stuff in the first place? Basically everyone that does a Let's Play, they use YouTube. Because there's not really anything else out there. I mean, there's other ways to show people your videos, but it's unless you have your own, home-based website like, and that's your thing, and that's where you promote it and do all that kind of stuff. YouTube is the tool. Like, that is what everybody uses, so you're not really going to get around it. And I think to integrate their streaming right into it, I think it's win-win for them. It's not like they tried to build this other website that was under a different name, but somehow magically linked to YouTube, and it was this kind of weird thing like that. Like, no, they kept the prime meat in the title. It was YouTube Gaming, and it's right on YouTube. So that was the way to do it.
The other thing is how big of a marketing push it's going to have, because like YouTube is probably going to ask certain Let's Players to start using YouTube service for sure.
Absolutely,
And even especially at big events, like I think Rooster Teeth at PAX actually had like had a YouTube gaming thing.
Yeah.
Where they were essentially the sponsors for Rooster Teeth at that point. And then you get that name out more. So when people see that name and it circulates more, then
and then you hit up people like Rooster Teeth or PewDiePie or something like that and get them to start going on YouTube Gaming. Yeah, that's going to cause a fucking landslide of everybody joining in. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with the release of YouTube Gaming, obviously, like, gaming and gaming culture is, slowly becoming much more pervasive in like mainstream culture, and it's kind of interesting because, of course, for us, like, we talk to a lot of people that are very much into gaming. It's funny, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but every once in a while, like, I mention something gaming related to, like, my coworkers or something like that, and then they all start, like, laughing at me, and it's not like I'm offended. I'm just like, oh, I forgot that this wasn't really mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, I have that moment where, like, that cognitive dissonance where I'm like, oh, right, I'm the weirdo.
Yeah.
But, like, so that's the thing, though. It's becoming so huge, and then you'll start to see a lot more mainstream people. Like, I mean, one of my favorites, of course, is the whole Conan doing his reviews for games. Like, those are awesome. But
yeah, because it's like he does a good job with those.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those, but it's
Oh, he knows he's bad.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's the thing. That's why I'm
like
saying I like it is
Yeah,
because
he's very self-aware.
He's very self-aware because right off the bat, before he even starts playing the game, he's like, I'm not good at video games. I don't particularly like video games. And for some reason, they asked me to review these games, and then that's how he starts every episode. And but it works because it's funny to see someone kind of from the outside try to play that stuff. Not only as like a kid that doesn't like a type of game, but like an older person that doesn't play video games and never did play video games.
He's got a good attitude about it, too. Like, he's super, super
Oh,
funny.
yeah, he's gung-ho about playing these games. Like, he's not just like, oh, this is dumb, and blah. It's like, I'm actually trying this out.
No, he has fun with it. He sees the entertainment value in it for, lots of different reasons. But either way, it's very entertaining to see him kind of experience these things that we not so much take for granted, but we could jump in and it's like a second language to us. Like, or I guess not second language, it's second nature. Like, it just happens, like, you jump in, no matter what the type of game is, you can get in and start playing it, whereas you hand Conan a controller, and he's just like, he needs to be told, like, what each button is, and what it does, and, like, how to move the camera, and, like, it's... these things are just stuff that we just do automatically now.
And, like, you don't even notice some of this stuff anymore. It's like... When you start playing a game, like, something ridiculous happens, and Conan's like, did that just happen? It's like, oh, that's pretty common in games.
No, that
like,
happens.
Okay,
that is supposed to happen, because it always happens.
Yeah.
Yes. In the kind of opposite direction of, understanding these type of things is our boy Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
He had an interesting situation this week where I guess he commented on YouTube gaming. It was pretty funny because...
Well, that's the thing, is it wasn't just about YouTube gaming. Like,
it wasn't funny.
They picked the joke
because it wasn't funny.
They picked the joke because YouTube gaming did launch this week, but it was basically an attack on Let's Players as a whole.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, what was funny to me, because, again, you guys kind of pointed this out to me, but it was funny because it just felt like he had no idea kind of what he was talking about, and then when he was talking about, my first thought was, isn't this kind of similar to what you do? Like, this is kind of similar to your job, Mr. Kimmel. Like, obviously, the clear differences for sure, but, I mean, he had this comment, just like you said, where he was almost attacking Let's Players, saying that, mentioning, of course, PewDiePie, one of the most prominent ones, how much money he makes, and kind of talking about how he doesn't really feel like they're working for their money.
Yeah, he almost insinuates that he doesn't work for his money. He's like a one-man show that has to produce everything.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, was his silly sketch. Like, where he had kind of the old YouTube gaming where somebody watching gaming. It's like, oh, and then somebody else watching somebody else, and then all of a sudden it's God watching you do the thing. And it was just like, oh, this joke doesn't really well thought out. And like
it works with everything.
Yeah. I was like, that was pretty silly. That was a kind of not really...
literally, like, you could akin it to anything. I mean, you can akin that to watching a football game or a hockey game. You can akin it to watching a cooking show or the news.
His motto was his thought was essentially like, why would I watch gaming if I could play a game? But it's the same in sports. It's like, why would I watch hockey when I could play hockey?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything
NASCAR.
like that. And then it's like, oh, but then I could watch someone watching someone watch hockey or some shit like that. It's like, that's what essentially his joke was, but it was just so dumb.
Yeah.
It just seemed, I think what it comes down to is it seemed very out of touch for someone who is supposed to be in with a younger crowd and supposed to be, geared to having stuff that's almost topical. It's like, oh, granted it's topical because this shit happened this week and that's what triggered the joke happening, but it seemed completely out of touch because clearly a lot of people who watch his show are young people that do Let's Plays or watch Let's Plays, and he basically got slammed after airing that, like, right away. YouTube comments, Reddit, like 4chan, like, everyone was on his case, because, and the great part that really kind of made me happy to see is it wasn't just a bunch of, like, slobbering idiots saying, oh, this guy's an idiot, or he's stupid for saying this, and he's an idiot, and like all this kind of stuff. It wasn't just like a bunch of people saying stupid comments. Like, it was very well thought out, very well presented comments and arguments for all that stuff. And it was great to see the people actually kind of like come out with those comments rather than just trying to flame him for like no apparent reason.
Well, even in his industry, he should understand that people can take entertainment in things and not to make fun of what people find entertainment in.
Yeah.
Like, there was a Bill Nye quote that's like, about watching paint dry, and he's like, have you ever watched it dry? Like, does it start from the top or the bottom, or things like that? And so if you ask the right questions, anything essentially can become interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
So he should understand that, and he shouldn't start making fun of that, and that's part of what keeps his business running, right?
Because I mean, like, you could just go out there and go with something really basic as books. It's like, well, why would you listen to a book on tape? Because I don't feel like fucking reading a book, okay?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Or
it's like, why would I listen to my friend talk about this book you heard on tape? Like, maybe you want your friend's opinion.
Yeah, or maybe you're doing a lot of data entry so you can't read, but you can still absorb that. Like, there's so many reasons why you would want to do these things. I mean,
I know a lot of people, they watch Let's Plays, not for a comedy factor or like, because I like the ones where people have conversations. It's not so much about the game, it's about the interactions between the people on the show. That's what I like to watch. There's a lot of people who hate those ones. They want to see a person shut the hell up and play the game through and through.
Yeah,
and that's because they either want to see the game done fast, they want to see it done properly, they want to walk through so that they can do it later on, or they literally just don't have the time to play this game, but they still want to experience it in some way, and they will sit and watch someone else play this game so that they don't have to. And I think that just, it fills that niche. Like, whatever you're looking for, it's there. And I think it's just stupid to try to call, a mass generation down on it now.
Yeah, it's like, there's a big generation of people who watch
He's
games
acting
now.
like this is 10 years ago, and video gaming is still an uncool, nerdy thing to do in your mom's basement, and he is just so far off the mark now with that kind of commentary that it's just like, he should really, I think someone's going to get fired over that one, probably.
No kidding. Like, it's interesting. Like, I got, like, the article from Kotaku, and I just want to, point out a couple things that this Kotaku article pointed out. Of course, as we already mentioned, it's funny. Of course, this video's on YouTube, so it's kind of it's hilarious that he's kind of making fun of one of the biggest parts of YouTube on YouTube. Therefore, his video definitely has a much higher dislike ratio to like ratio. Like, it's significant. And there were a couple comments here. Like, there were a couple of comments that YouTube Kotaku kind of zeroed in on. I'm not going to actually like read them out, but there were a couple points that they made. One of the most kind of just important ones. Somebody just said, "Some people can't afford video games."
Yes.
Like, that's sorry, Jimmy. Like, some people just can't afford video games, and this is how they get their entertainment out of these.
And that's a prime one too, because just like I said, some people like to watch other people just play a game because they don't have the time. Sometimes they know that they're going to go out and spend $70 on like Batman, and they're going to play it for 2 weeks, and they're going to put it down and never play it again. It's like they don't want to spend the $70, but they still want to experience that game.
Yeah. Well, at that point, it's entertainment is also for experiencing with other people. So, like, when you watch The Walking Dead and you want to talk to someone about it, and that's exactly why The Talking Dead came out, to bring up talking points for people who actually want to talk to their friends about it.
Yes.
And things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's almost so social what every entertainment has become now. So, it shouldn't be silly to watch someone
do anything.
Because you still gain that knowledge, that experience, those talking points, right?
Yeah. And it's like trying to make fun of someone for watching or doing whatever they want to do. And you just can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because we have the internet. We understand that people are very, very different in their likes and dislikes. And there's some people that just like some really weird shit out there. And you know what? If that's their thing, fucking go for it.
As long as it's not hurting anybody, then what's the problem? Like that's the weird thing. Why it was so like it seemed like it was really just out of touch. I mean, another thing that people point out, as we said, like, you know, you're spending $70, $80 on these video games. It's like you got to be really careful. So lots of people watch these Let's Plays to see, okay, is this game something that I will like?
Yeah, just review straight up. It's like they don't want to see a 2-minute review that has a score at the end. Some people want to watch an hour of gameplay and really experience what that other person was doing, and then they base their judgment off of that.
And that's like the difference between Let's Play and reviews as well, because although they could like the game, you might not like it at all. And if you were watching someone play it, you can see why you wouldn't like it or why you would like it. Compared to if someone's just reviewing it and talking about it, they pick out the points that they like.
Because again, if they're paid or they just like that type of game, they're going to cherry pick what they want to present to give it those numbers and to give it that kind of pizzazz. Whereas if you watch somebody just play a bone dry version of the game, of them jumping in, not knowing anything about the game, and you experience that first hour of the game with someone else that doesn't know what they're doing, you may see stuff that you either like or dislike about it that never even got touched in the review.
Oh yeah, like even some of the stuff we did ourselves, like Demon's Crest.
Yeah.
With the mechanics of the changing weapons and stuff, or changing forms and things. It's
yeah,
like,
they never
someone might see that and they'd just be like, I'm not playing that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's too much hassle. Or like they might see the difficulty of a certain game and just be like, no, not for me.
Well, the other thing that you get from Let's Plays is like you start to, just like you were saying, Dan, like sometimes you watch it for the person's personality. You may find that there's a person out there that's doing Let's Play has a similar personality disposition to you. Maybe like the same kind of games as you do. So they'll be a good judge of whether this type of game in a genre that you both really like is good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then of course the main other thing, again, something that we already pointed out, that one of the commenters mentioned in this Kotaku article is the fact that these people put a lot of time and effort into the work they do with Let's Players. With Let's Plays, they have to go through everything. They have to edit everything. They have to, clip out what they think is boring, what they think is good. They have to kind of look at what's current and what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of time and energy that goes into this stuff. It's not like you just record and then slap it on there. It's not that easy.
There's a lot of learning.
And I think that'll carry us over into like kind of our next point of like what Let's Players actually do and what you don't get to see unless you are one. Because I mean, I came up with the idea for Kita, or just doing a Let's Play in general, because it was not Kita when it first started. Basically, I think almost 2 years ago, and I was going to do it.
Oh yeah, and it took us a whole year to.
Well, and it wasn't even that. I was going to do this with my cousin first, and then he just ended up having a job where he works overnight, and he just did not have the time or the effort to put into it. So I was like, that's fine. I will try to find someone else, because this is something I still want to do, and I pursued it, and I pursued it. And found these two guys. We were friends before, but it was like, hey, you know what? They like games. They have some time on their hands, so they'll probably be down for this. And sure enough, they were. But with that being said, it was not just like, hey guys, you want to do this? Yeah, sure. And then we just started filming that afternoon. No, it does not fucking work that way.
No.
And anyone that's on a Let's Play, a podcast, anything like that, they are going to understand this like right off the bat that it does not happen overnight. It really doesn't. I mean, we have all taken on a lot of skills and a lot of roles and given up a lot of our free time for... We're not getting paid. We're not getting paid to do this.
We haven't even monetized.
We do it because we like to communicate with some fan base. We like to... I mean, this is almost relaxing at this point. We love talking about games. It's what we do. Yes. So and we just really love doing what we're doing. So it's not about getting paid; it's about having fun and just kind of putting it out there for everyone to enjoy. And anyone that does a proper Let's Play will totally agree with that. There are a lot of people that are in it for the money, which is unfortunate. I mean, if we could get paid to do this at some day,
it would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice. It would be nice because then we could do it better.
Yeah.
We could, we could actually spend more time doing this and making more videos and having more fun like that. But until and when and if that happens, we're going to keep doing what we're doing and hope that you guys enjoy it.
That almost was like what I expected coming in wasn't to make money.
No,
like,
and you can't because that'll
like,
ruin it for you.
I always thought it'd be nice to be able to do this for a living, but like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna start this and we're gonna make a bunch of money and then I'm gonna show all those people who doubted me. And it's like I'm just doing this for fun and like if people watch, like great, I want people to see this because this is what I love to do and I can share it with you guys. And
because that's the thing. It's like I love talking about games and I love talking about nerd culture and stuff like that. But I can only talk to Garry and Nedu about it so much.
It's
like I'm dumb.
I know, like I love talking to these guys, and there's new topics every week, obviously, because we have our podcast. Yeah. But I know Gary's opinions on stuff. I know Nedu's opinions on stuff, and like what he likes and dislikes and stuff. That's why I like meeting new people in this type of stuff because I love to get kind of those different aspects of what people like and dislike and everything like that. Like I got to talk to your friend Justin the other day about his Genesis fandom, and I was just like, I wasn't having it because I'm not a fan of Genesis.
Oh, really? I actually like Genesis too.
And that's the thing is, there was a few games that I liked on it, but again, I think it goes back to the fact that I had a SNES. I didn't have a Genesis, so that a lot of that came from that and just having that system when he was younger. He liked a Genesis because that was his thing.
Yes.
But it was funny. It was poking fun at each
other.
No,
yeah, you guys were having a good time.
I didn't actually have a SNES either. I was a Genesis kid.
No, same here. I was a Genesis kid.
But yeah, that's the thing. It kind of just comes down to, and that's the thing is like, even though I say I don't like the Genesis had good games on it, and later on in life I did get to play them again, and I got to play other games that I never got to experience because I didn't have it when I was younger. Because I mean, back in that, it was like, back in the day, a system still cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So with inflation, it's like it cost a lot of money to have a system back then. So for a kid to have all the systems was
he was just a rich kid.
He had rich fucking parents back then. So and then games were like $80 or $90.
Oh, they were so expensive.
Yeah,
they actually went down in price for quite a while, and they're getting back up.
Depending on what it is. So. But so that's kind of where that comes from. So like in a Let's Play in general, like we like doing it because we have fun with it and we like talking to other people. So
well, just yesterday, like I was talking to a friend of mine, and he had said he'd watch some of our videos, and that's probably my favorite moment. He's like, that time you talked about the vulture story? I'm like, jeez, I remember that. I'm just like, it was kind of funny because we had a good laugh about that. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like talking to, again, like, that friend of mine not that it was a secret or anything, but I probably never would have brought up that story with him just because it never would have come up. But then I shared that story on the Let's Play, and he watched it, and he was like, that is super funny. That's super weird. That's a thing that you, that you dealt with. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. I'm like, then we had a good laugh about that, and we started talking about the game that we had played at the time.
Yeah.
And, we were playing on that channel. And
that's what it's about right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about making money. It's not about, like, trying to get the subscribers all the time and stuff like that. It's literally about communication.
Yeah, we're people sharing our lives and with other people.
And that's kind
you
of
can see that.
And that's why I wanted to do it in this format. Like ever since the start, I wanted it to be not the buddy cop drama exactly, but it was like us hanging out playing video games, and you get to know about us, you get to know about the game we're playing, but it's not about us speedrunning. It's not about us being particularly good at games. Because
we're bad at something.
We are really hit and miss on what we're doing. And but we're hanging out, we're having fun, and I really hope that comes across in what we're doing. So, and I think it does.
Oh, I think so. I mean, the best Let's Players, in my opinion, are the ones... Well, I mean, again, depends on what you're going for, right? Because I'm actually, like, one of those guys that also likes the ones that have no commentary on them. If I'm trying to, like... unfortunately for me, I don't love the Uncharted games. I just don't love playing them at all. With the exception,
aim your comments
Yeah.
at Nedu
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Elbel. It's
jeez, here it comes.
Uncharted 3 had a stupid story.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
shit.
Oh my god. Anyway.
No, I really do unlike the Uncharted games.
No, like they're pretty interesting, and that's the thing. Like, I love watching the cinematics and stuff like that. I played through half of Uncharted 1, and I just got so annoyed. And same with Uncharted 2, which I actually enjoyed quite a bit more than Uncharted 1.
Because it was much better.
Uncharted
it had
2 was
really good flow
significantly
compared
better.
to
Yeah,
all the other games.
Yeah,
all the other games.
No, for sure. Like 2 had great flow to it. But I was just like, I don't want to play these games, but I want to see the story, and I watched all of Uncharted 1 and 2 on YouTube, and it was really fun for me. I was like, okay, well, I kind of get what people are liking about this.
Because sometimes it's just, like, especially RPGs and stuff. Sometimes it's just the story that's like really the drawing point.
Yeah. And you have a project that you might want to do in the future with that, right?
Oh,
I don't know if you want to talk about that. Or not, but...
No, we'll save it.
Okay, we'll save it for said future.
Suspense.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And then, of course, the other types that I really like are the ones where it's just like a few guys, a few people like hanging out and having fun with this game. I mean, I'll talk about those a little bit more, but I've been recently watching Let's Plays of old games that I used to play and love, and I'm watching them, man, this game's actually pretty awful.
Yeah.
So,
I actually like watching what people do in certain situations compared to what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I watch Dark Souls or those types of Let's Plays and be like,
those are
wow, that was something I totally would have never done or even considered doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you guys are always like, potions, and I'm like, I wouldn't use the potion now. Things like that. It's just like, there are certain mindsets that people have that dictate what they do in the game that is just fascinating to me.
And you know what? One of the things that I never thought I would do, because I'm not a sports guy. I don't sports at all. I rarely watch hockey. It's just because we have the Jets and I watch hockey from time to time. I used to watch football from time to time, so I know the rules and stuff, but I don't go out of my way to watch it and stuff. So I'm not a big sports guy. I like extreme sports. Like, I watch that stuff. And I like extreme sports games. Like, I like the skateboarding games. I liked NFL Blitz. I liked Wayne Gretzky 3 hockey. I like the really,
that was actually really fun.
I like the really arcadey versions of sports. So it's like you take sports to the next level kind of thing. I really enjoy those, but this is a type of Let's Play that I never thought I'd be watching because it is kind of sports related. But I not only went out of my way to watch tips and tricks for Rocket League, I actually watched people just film their games of Rocket League, like really good players, and I watched what they were doing, which is what they do in hockey and football and all that stuff. They'll watch what their coming up team, like the team that they're going to play next week, they'll watch a bunch of their games to kind of get down like what they're good and bad at and stuff. I was doing the exact same thing with Rocket League. And I was just like, I never thought I'd be doing this, but here it is.
Yep. No, absolutely.
So there really is, there's a flavor of everything out there. Like, it doesn't matter.
A lot of people do that same thing with fighting games.
Yes, fighting games are big for that too. Because you want to size up the guy, see what he's weak at, and kind of attack that and everything. So.
Okay. Well, that's a good. Actually, that whole conversation is a really good segue into kind of just talking about some of our favorite Let's Players. I mean, obviously we do Let's Plays. I think it's safe to say that we've been inspired by certain people or certain channels. So yeah, what are your guys' some favorite Let's Players?
Gary, do you want to go first?
I
know that you don't watch a lot of them, but
I definitely don't watch a lot of them. Like, and it's not for not wanting to. It's because I just don't have like a lot of time to go about that. But one of them I really liked is Rooster Teeth, just because like I sort of started with Red vs. Blue and stuff like that. Like, I think that was a big thing.
Things. It was a big thing for a lot of people to get into that because they were kind of one of the originators of that type of feel too.
And so, like, their personalities from that show even go into their Let's Plays. So
Absolutely,
I really enjoy their personalities. So, like, when I see them playing Surgery Simulator or something like that, it's just hilarious and like it's so funny.
Yeah, they have some pretty amazing moments like that, and you're right. Like it did, like those characters weren't made up. Those are those people. They have fun. They fucking poke each other, and they just have a blast doing what they're doing. And you can tell. Again, that's that thing. They did it for the fun. They eventually got paid for it, but up front they were doing it for fun, and that shone through because it showed the quality of the product then. Which was which turned out really, really good. And I mean, they're still in it. They have their own convention now. I mean, you can't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So is there anyone else, or is it just Rooster?
I I'd be fascinated to see what MatPat does.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
I
that's
do
right.
like
Yeah,
game
we
theories.
like game theory and stuff.
I like when people talk about like theories and philosophies.
Oh, and did you
regarding
know
games and
gaming?
things.
Did
Did you know gaming? I
You
do
really
like that,
that
yeah.
one. Because that's like.
But that's mostly Did You Know Gaming is fascinating because they always get like Let's Players to do the commentary because they pick someone who knows a lot about the game and have them do the Did You Know for certain games.
But we really enjoy that one because we learn shit 20, 25, 30 years down the road from games we played when we were kids.
Oh,
Yes.
And it's just like, I never fucking knew that, or I
Oh,
never
yeah.
made that connection.
Yeah, or you're like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like,
Q head explosion.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, what be your dick like?
oh my god, that was such a Magfest, guys. Seriously, go there. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
funny.
seriously. Go to
was fun.
Magfest.
It was
It
fun.
was,
You should go check it out.
It was an
Yeah.
absolute blast.
You'll get jokes like that.
Got to meet a lot of people there because I mean they're just hanging out and they're just like they're attending just like you are. So
Yeah.
you know it's very rare that they have their entourage and they get escorted everywhere. It's some of the higher end I guess do eventually because they will get mobbed.
Yes.
But other than that, I mean you know they're everywhere. Like unfortunately, this is why we want to go back next year. Unfortunately, last year we just missed. Basically hanging out with Family Jewels, like the guy that does all the video game music and stuff. And I wanted to meet him so bad, and it was basically at the point where my wife was texting him, and it was like, "Hey, we should hang out. I'm just sitting in this room, like playing guitar and stuff like that." And we're like, "Oh, but we gotta fucking go. Why didn't this happen like hours ago? We could have just sat down with Family Jewels and hung out. Like that would have been so fucking cool." But I guess that kind of segues into my stuff. I absolutely love Family Jewels. I think everything he does is fucking stellar. I mean, the guy's a genius on guitar. So I love watching pretty much anything he does. Even if it's music I've never even heard of before, I'll sit and listen to it because he does such an excellent rendition of it. Because I'll go and like listen to what the original version was, just to see kind of how he did a remix or kind of flared it up a little and stuff.
Okay.
And it's and yeah, he just does such amazing work on there. Obviously, I've mentioned them before, and I've mentioned them again, and I will continue to mention them because they're absolutely right up there with some of my heroes. It's Game Grumps. I mean, not only were they huge in my life before, because I've basically been watching them probably about 6 months into the start. I went back and watched almost all their stuff, though, because me and my wife watch them religiously almost. Like, it's on, it's a daily basis. That's like we eat dinner and watch Game Grumps, basically. Which is kind of nice, because that's our time where it's like we're doing something anyways, so we'll throw in Game Grumps, and we get to keep up with what's happening, so that works out really well. But I went back and watched, because they're just so entertaining. They're just so fucking entertaining. And, again, at Magfest, got to meet them, got to, like, you know, shake some hands, and you have, like, a little bit of one-on-one time. It wasn't a lot.
Have some signatures?
Yeah, get some awesome signatures. Maybe I'll post up some pictures of what I got signed and everything like
Yes,
that.
do that.
It was huge on Reddit when I did it. And people absolutely loved them. So, but yeah, they were absolute inspiration, and I watch them on a daily basis because I enjoy their banter so much. I think that's it. It's basically, again, because that's what they do. They hang out and they tell stories and they have fun. They're not necessarily good at a lot of games, but sometimes that's where the comedy comes from, too.
Oh, yeah.
They play these horrendous games, and they're bad at playing them, so it's just, like, twofold. And then, yeah, as far as that, like, I've been trying to, because I'm in Let's Plays now, I've been trying to kind of get out there for people that don't have as many subscribers and really maybe get in on the ground floor of some other
I've been
people
watching
that are out there,
yeah.
and even just watching a few videos here and there, you really get a taste for what they're putting across. So I mean, actually, here, just a quick second out of another one that I watch a lot. It's not so much a Let's Play, but Extra Credits has been huge.
Yeah. Yes.
Got to meet them at Magfest too.
That
They
was fun.
Dan and James are
Amazing.
amazing. They are fucking gods
They're
among
great
men,
people,
basically.
too, yeah.
If you like. There's a lot of people who say don't meet your heroes because they end up being jackasses, or they're just like, oh, I don't have time for you because I'm so famous kind of thing. Dan and James are two of the most down-to-earth, amazing men that you will ever meet in your entire life. And I suggest not only watching their stuff, but if you ever go to a convention where they're at, just say hi to them. Learn what they look like, say hi to them in the hallway, and they will literally stop and talk to you for 20 minutes because they are that cool.
Yeah.
They definitely love their fans. Like, you can tell they took a lot of time
And that's
out of their day
and again,
to
it comes
hang
through.
out with
They
us.
love what they're doing, and you can tell because they're not just like, oh, well, don't talk to me about that because I don't have time or whatever. They will sit and talk to you because they love that topic so much. And I found that absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Actually, if you don't mind, because I was going to talk about them too. If you don't mind, Dan, I'll just quickly just mention what I was going to say about them. So, basically, they are amazing. The thing is that James is a consultant for video games, and Dan is an animator, and they're pretty high up in their fields, but at the same time, nobody would ever know who they are if they didn't put themselves out there.
Yeah, they're pretty stealthy, because I didn't even know what they looked like when we went to MagFest. Oh, yeah. So I didn't learn until...
You do their caricatures.
yeah, that was about it. And Dan does not sound like that in real life.
No. That'd be terrifying. But they actually did start doing a Let's Play thing, which I've been watching. And I think this goes to what you were talking about, Gary, with people talking about game design, because that's what they're doing. They're doing a Let's Play of Dark Souls, where nice. Dan is playing and James is commenting and stuff like that. And oftentimes they'll basically stop playing the game to comment on a bunch of stuff, whether it comes to graphics, whether it comes to programming of enemies, whether it comes to patterns. Like, it's really awesome to watch. So, yeah.
And then there was just, before Nedu took my point and ran with it.
Sorry.
Which is good. I gave him that to run with, so that's cool. No, they're, and then like I was saying before, there's a few smaller guys who have anywhere from like 10 subscribers to like, maybe about 1,000 subscribers. I've been trying to get on those ones too, because it's like, these are the type of people that I would love to meet because they're on kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. Because it isn't like you're looking at Game Grumps who have millions of subscribers now. They're at the top of their game kind of thing. Whereas a lot of these other guys, they're up and coming, and these are the guys that are just like us. Like they are looking for those subscriptions. They're starting from the bottom, and they're trying to build that fan base. And I would love to be part of that fan base because they're going to be down to earth. They're going to be they want to talk to you and stuff like that. They have the time to do that. And so a couple of those are one that just kind of came out of nowhere. I found them on Reddit one day. As I Play Dying, these guys have been doing an absolutely awesome job. It's two guys, got great sense of humor, great banter. They were playing. I was watching them play through Mega Man 8.
Did you see their Splatoon? It was pretty
and
good.
I did not see the Splatoon one. I saw it come up, but I did not watch it yet. So As I Play Dying are awesome guys. What was one of the other ones here? I'm looking through my big ass list of subscriptions here. Quick shout out to Markiplier, because he's just an amazing human being, let alone an amazing Let's Player, but he's just a really cool guy, so I hope to meet him next year. I think it's Mobert's World. This is a group of people. They kind of play almost like a drunken party. I watched them play Mario Kart, and I almost fell on the floor laughing, because it was so good. These guys, their banter and their insane comments, and they respond to everything too. So if you throw them a comment, they'll just say something wacky back at you, and they seem like a great group of people. I'd love to meet them too if they kind of showed up at one of the conventions there. And one set of guys who definitely has more of a following because they were at MagFest this year, but I didn't see their panel because of other stuff, was the Continue guys.
Yeah, okay.
They have a great idea on their Let's Play, because they will grab a game and they'll play an episode of it, and then they will ask their fans if they want them to continue playing it. And I think that was a really cool idea. And they have some just, solid kind of back and forth, and they're actually pretty good at some of the games too. So, so that goes a long way. But yeah, so that's kind of my Let's Play list. So did you?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm going to briefly mention Game Grumps again, just because I was watching them really a little bit before I kind of started to get to know Dan and his wife Jamie. But after getting to know those two, I started watching a lot more religiously, and I really understand why you guys are really into it. Especially recently, they've been playing through Sonic Adventure DX, which has been both an amazing experience and horrifying experience for me, because I love Sonic Adventure, and I played through the game so many times, and watched it going, oh my god, this game really is terrible.
Yeah, you realize what a pile of ass the game actually was. Yet you finished it, 4 times, 5 times?
Well, more than that. More than that. I got everything. It's just weird, because that's not the kind of game, that's generally not the kind of player I am these days, so it's weird. But yeah, so that's been an interesting experience. One person I actually want to mention with speaking of Sonic, Clement J642. A lot of these Let's Players I watched a lot, or frankly listened to a lot while doing a lot of stuff in university, because I'd be at school working, doing homework or writing an essay for hours on end, and I would just have the Let's Players in my ears, and if they start saying something interesting or talk about what's happening on screen, I'd look for a bit and then keep working.
Yeah.
And it was something that really kept me sane. Clement was one of those guys, and what I found interesting about Clement is, this is what I'm talking about when you're mentioning somebody, a Let's Player who has a similar disposition as you, because Sonic fans are some of the weirdest people in the world. I say that with full awareness.
say that with
We know that, Nedu. We know that.
You say that with the utmost love in your heart. for
absolutely.
Sonic,
First, yeah, like these guys know exactly. Like I'm a huge Sonic fan, and it breaks my heart. So Clement's kind of is in a similar situation where he loves Sonic, but he is pained at every Sonic game that comes out, and he will go in intricate detail, play through every Sonic game that comes out, even if it kills him. He had a 3-hour, I watched the whole damn thing, a 3-hour review of Sonic 06.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And I watched the whole thing, and I felt like I was slowly going as insane as he was while doing it.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that was one of those moments where you're like, yeah, this is a Let's Player I can really understand. And again, Sonic fans are all over the place. Again, myself included. So it was interesting to see a Sonic fan, being very intricate about their critique of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Well, because he could do that with that love.
Exactly.
He understood the character. He knew what was right and wrong.
Yes.
And he played it because he cared for that character.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Like, it's not, and again, it's not a lot of the case where a lot of Let's Players, and this is no shot against them, because frankly, a lot of these games deserve it, where they're just making fun of how terrible it is and being like, was Sonic ever good?
Yeah.
Or, what was the point of this? Why is this character even still around? And stuff like that.
Because, think about it this way. Like, there's a lot of broke-ass games out there, and they are broken. They are straight-up bad games. Mm-hmm. But when a lot of Let's Players go and riff on them, there's a reason for it. It's because it's a horrible game.
Yes.
But when people riff on something like Sonic, a lot of those guys, they're young and they grew up with Sonic. They actually love Sonic, but they riff on the game.
Yeah.
The game alone.
Yes.
Because it is a bad game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And that's where somebody like Clement is coming from. They're coming from that love and that knowledge of the history. So when there are aspects of Sonic games that are good, they can notice that. He can notice that and be like, okay, this is kind of what's going on with this game, right? So that was really cool. I guess I put MatPat on this list. That one's more of a new one because he doesn't really do, at least he hasn't really done Let's Plays until very recently. I watched the one where he was doing, like I had it mentioned earlier, Mario Maker. And it was kind of cool because, it was MatPat unscripted, which was really interesting.
It was very, very scripted every time you listen.
It must be kind of strange, right?
It was strange, but it was incredibly charming. It was funny because you see a lot of his personality, those videos. That's fair stage, but there's a lot of his personality in those videos, and you see that because he's just kind of raw in there, and he's making these horrible puns, those horrible puns that he puts in. Those just come out of his brain.
That just spills out of his mouth all day, every day.
Absolutely. That's so spot on. He was just making awful puns the whole time. I'm like, yeah, this is totally MatPat. And then his wife was doing it with him too, so it was kind of funny just seeing him just so much dressed down in a sense because. Like we said, his videos are so scripted, and they should be because he's doing a deep dive with a lot of research.
Well, a lot of them are very intricate and stuff like that, and you can't just spout that stuff.
And when it's designed to be persuasive, then you have to.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what he needs from his videos. But seeing him not do that and just kind of experience the game with him was really, really interesting to me. It was really cool to watch and really cool to listen to him, and it was cool to see him interact with his wife. Those two are such nerds. It was kind of adorable. So yeah, that was great. And then I'm just gonna rattle off a couple others. One thing I really like is Felicia Day and her brother. I think his name was Ryan or something like that. On their Co-optitude on their Geek and Sundry channel. That one just reminded me a lot of my older brother and I playing video games. My younger brother and I used to play video games a bit in the past, but I guess my older brother and I were closer in age and had much more similar tastes when it came to video games. So that was a lot more the case of us two, and that reminded me a lot of that. With the two of them, just kind of making fun of each other when they're terrible, or ripping a controller out of the other person's head where they can't do anything. Was really just kind of reminding me of the way it was and sometimes still is when it comes to playing video games. I grew up with an older brother, so I watched people play watch them play games a lot, and I still enjoy watching people play games. So it was kind of cool to watch that. And then one thing I really liked as well, kind of last Let's Player I'm going to mention is the Black Nerd, Andre, and his friend Katie Wilson. I don't know if they do that quite as much because I was watching them a lot back in the day, but they had this thing called Sword and Shell because Katie's like a huge fancy nerd and Andre's just a huge nerd. So, mostly Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So they had their Let's Play. It was kind of interesting too because they're two very different type of video game players playing games together. Katie's like super good at fantasy games and also first-person shooters. She's actually kind of scary when she plays because she gets super intense and yells at Andre all the time. And then he's a lot more into adventure games and stuff like that. So seeing two very different type of people play, the games and seeing how they react to it was always really interesting to me. So yeah.
Ooh. And I've actually been asked. This was kind of like, I guess, going back to like doing Let's Plays and stuff like that. But I had been asked, and I think it's kind of across the board with a lot of Let's Players. It's, do you watch your own Let's Plays? And we do from time to time.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Garry has to watch it.
I've watched everyone like six times.
He's our chief and editor, basically.
Amazing.
So
By the way,
he has to watch it,
and he does an amazing job. Like, let me just tell you, like
He's learned so much.
Yes.
He's basically carried us.
Oh, for sure. I sometimes send him messages about things that he's blushing. It's great. This is cute.
But no, I mean, what it comes down to is basically there's a lot of people who are like, oh no, I never watch my own stuff, and it's like, well, I mean, obviously you have an editor then because
how would you get it up if you've never watched?
Yeah, because you have to watch it. You have to know when the cues are for different stuff and how to edit and cut parts and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of people that don't watch their own stuff, so clearly they have an editor. It's just us three. We're the only three people in this, so we need Gary's our editor, and it happens. So he's seen our stuff a lot.
I actually watch it for like 4 different instances because the first time it's just like watching for cues on when to put stuff in.
Yeah.
Like if I ever need like a light show or something, it's like okay, yeah. And then like second time is like audio syncing, stuff like that, getting it all ready.
All the technical stuff.
And then like third time is making sure it works.
Yeah.
Like. Make sure it totally works. It stays in sync the whole time. And then fourth time is probably the one that takes the longest. It's to watch through this video and try and figure out how to name it and describe it.
Yes, this is true.
And sometimes I watch it like 3 or 4 times. I'm just like, I cannot think of any title that would be suiting for this video. But it's fun.
So you thank Garry for his hard work and his amazing titles on every single episode because everyone is unique.
Yeah, for sure. And I thank Garry all the time. I mean, he actually helps me with some of the limited editing that I do.
Yeah.
And I've definitely run into problems where Gary's like, just do this and this. I'm like, wow, I never even
and
saw
basically,
that.
like, I'll go back and there's certain episodes I do want to watch because I know that we talked about funny shit, or I'll go back and because you'll put on a cold intro that I completely forgot even happened because we filmed it, 2 weeks ago. And,
Dodgeball.
And it's like, holy fuck, I completely forgot we said that. And I will be laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
And that's the best part too. Is it's like you want to put up good content. It's like if you can't laugh at yourself, is everyone else going to laugh at you then? That's the thing. Is you need that quality content in there. And I mean, like, of course you have hit and miss episodes. You have on and off days. I mean, we have shitty episodes. So does everyone. Markiplier has tons of horrible episodes, and he basically says right at the end, it's just like, this was whatever. Yeah. I don't even care. Like, he just put it up because it was a video to kind of do his quota. But I mean, everyone has their on and off days because you can't have the goodwill of the bad.
Well, especially if you're playing through a game and you want to show the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have parts where you just can't say anything about it, or there's just like nothing really.
And it happens. So unless you're like some kind of comedic genius and you can always be on point, it's not going to happen. I mean, you learn as you go along, basically.
That's okay.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's I think to wrap up the whole thing, it has been an absolutely amazing learning experience, and we're learning basically every time we do it. There's always something new to do. There's always like new shit to answer. There's always new fun to have, basically. And you keep learning and you keep doing, and eventually you get to that point where you're happy with what you're doing, and we're happy right now, and we can only get happier at this point by meeting people and just becoming bigger and getting to meet that fan base. So, so yeah, that's kind of that in a nutshell.
Yeah, for sure. No, well said, Dan. Well said, Dan. It's been a real fun experience with all of this stuff for sure. All right. Well, I guess like, as always, we'll finish off with what we've been playing / doing this week.
/
Doing. Yeah.
Hand boning.
Hand boning. Oh my god. I love regular shows. Okay. Gary, would you like to start?
Funny thing is, I don't have to do the doing this time because I actually played a game.
Yeah, I'm
Whoa.
excited.
Gary
I
played
was
something.
waiting for my videos to encode, and I was like, I'm gonna turn on my PlayStation, and then realized it's been on for a month. and then I played some Hot Shots Golf, you know?
Oh, nice.
Just to like
Nice.
chill and waste a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
that
something-
game will waste a few hours.
It's nice because it's relaxing, but also super frustrating.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I played. And
Nice.
I was planning to see what types of games I could play at TGS because they have Star Ocean 5
Oh,
playable.
nice.
Nice.
That's nice.
It's exciting.
Battlefront.
Yeah, you're
Star
going to be
Wars
playing
Battlefront.
that.
That's cool.
Oh, boy.
Dark Souls is gonna be over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard nothing about Tales of Berseria, so I'm just gonna put that somewhere.
Yeah.
And
I'm
hope
sure it'll show up.
Hope
in
it
some
shows
kinda-
up. And Tokyo Xanadu looks really good, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Gary's going to, of course, be either Vining or Instagramming or something.
Instagramming. I don't know Vine. It's
Well,
too
Vine's
hip
a sim-
for me.
Vine's a simplistic one, too. It's a 6-second limit, so...
It's too hip for me.
Damn kids.
Damn kids and their Vines and their Snap channels.
Yeah, and their Snap channels. Well, Instagram has
So yeah,
short videos too,
Gary's gonna take some time out of his tight schedule to bring you some little snippets of
It's
entertainment.
not very
from...
tight.
You're gonna be a Tokyo Game Show. Your mind's gonna be like fucking everywhere.
I'm probably
so-
just gonna stand in the first line I see and I'll go into the washroom and be like, good ride.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically this week has been fairly busy on my end, so I didn't get to play a lot. I finally downloaded my free PSN games of the month, and and I was just like, well, I've got a bit of time before the guys show up, so I'm gonna try. What was it now?
Castle Storm?
Castle Storm, I believe.
Yeah.
Interesting little game. If you guys like tower defense, Angry Birds, resource management, like castle building, it's got everything. It really does. For a simplistic looking little game, you get to shoot enemies, you get to send out enemy troops, or you get to send out like friendly troops to attack the other castle. When you're shooting the ballista, you have stuff that you can split into multiple things or explode. You get to build your own castle. You have your own hero, so you can go on the ground and attack and block and use your arrow, and like it just really has a little bit of everything in it. So that was, especially if you have PSN Plus, get it. I mean, for a free game, you can't go wrong. It's been fun, and I'm definitely going to be playing more of it this week. As usual, I've been playing Fallout Shelter. It's still in that. I had my first experience with Death Claws yesterday, which really sucked. Probably if I wasn't really on point with it, they pretty much would have wiped out my whole vault, so that would have sucked.
Okay.
Boy.
Yeah, I didn't get back into Okami this week, unfortunately, because I didn't really have time to sit down with it. And, oh shit, there was something else. Oh wait, no, I didn't get to play that. I'm going to install it, and I will play it next week. So I will tell you about... There's
We'll
a
hear it next
couple.
week.
There's a couple demos that I have downloaded that I'm going to play because I wanted to play them this week, but again I was busy, and I was busy because I was actually on another podcast this week. I'm sure we can put. You know what? I didn't cheat on you guys.
Oh my God, Dan!
It's all fairs and podcasts and love and war and all that shit. I'm pretty sure I can put a link to that below in the description, so you can go check that out because we got to talk to our friend Jessie and my wife Jamie, Jay Tanuki as she's known. We were all on that show together, and we got to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, we got to talk about Flock, we got to talk about PAX Prime and some indie game goodness and everything like that. So that was a blast, and you can go check that one out. We'll put the link down there.
Sweet.
And what have you been doing this week?
So for me, I played a little bit more Batman, which has been cool, of course, except for the fact that I've been doing a lot of Joker stuff. I mean, not Joker, Riddler stuff right now. And Riddler I just want to run over him slowly with the Batmobile, kind of break his legs, and then just stay there, and then kind of get out of the Batmobile, and then continuously punch him, saying, reciting horrible riddles.
Beat the derby right off his head.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm done with the Riddler because I hate them so much. I played more Bloodborne, and yeah, like that's been fun. Getting back into it, just going back into the main story stuff. And I found, like, again, I guess it is slightly like riding a bike, except, you know, the first few times you fall off your bike and kind of get hit by a car. But then after that, you kind of remember how to do it. So that's been good. That's been fun, kind of getting back into
all your legs.
Yeah, after you break all your legs and then come back and you're totally refreshed. So that's been great to get back into. Like, that game is just spectacular.
And you got to play Rocket League!
Yes, I did. You were working. Yes, I was going to mention Rocket League. I'll get to that. I just wanted to say quickly about Bloodborne. The last few areas in that game are brutal, and they continually, as you know, just every area.
For the boss.
No, for sure. And you know, there are quite a few times where they summoned, you know, the area automatically has this thing where they will summon other players into that place unless you kill the bell ringing lady. There are a couple times where it summoned a guy and I, you know, luckily was able to kill them. But the last person summoned really messed with my head because they were dancing around in the area. They were smart because that area, there's a place that will constantly damage you.
Yeah.
They were dancing around in the area, and I needed to pass that to move on. And they were just messing around there. I'd occasionally shoot them with my gun, but it did barely any damage. And, you know, they were kind of dancing around, got real close, ran away, started throwing a bunch of shiny coins on the ground in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing?
People like that make me happy.
Oh, yeah, well, exactly. Like, it was funny because, like, at the time I was mad, but afterward I'm like, that was really funny because that guy was just messing with me. Like,
trolling right
oh,
there.
it was great trolling. Like, that's the kind of thing that you can do in the game. And he or she just decided to mess with my head rather than run up and fight me, and that's why I beat the other people, because I would stand there, they would come to me, so I'd be ready for them. This person did not do that.
Oh yeah, that's a thinker.
Yeah.
If you play like FPS games and you don't chase people,
Yeah.
then like if someone thinks you're following them and you just stop, they will come back in through that room. Almost always.
Absolutely.
Unless they're a thinker too, they will come like naturally back to you.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, I can get the kill then. And it's like, nope.
And I appreciate that because it made me think about that kind of thing in a different way. So I was like, all right, I'll keep that in mind if I run into somebody else like that. Yes, and Dad said I played Rocket League. Finally.
Man,
that game is a lot of fun. I couldn't really understand. I guess I was quite worried about the skill ceiling with that, and just me being way below it. But you know what? Like, I played with Dan. He taught me how to play. I played with a couple other friends as well.
And the great thing is it falls into that category of easy to play but hard to master.
Yes.
So if you play someone else that is kind of new at it or just isn't generally good at it, you're going to have a fucking fantastic time playing it anyways because it's just fun.
Yes.
It is just a fun game.
Yes. The feeling of getting into the proper position. Granted, this only happened to me a couple times because I'm still quite new. But the feeling of getting into that proper position and just smacking the ball right into the net is just unreal.
It's just
like the
sports.
Game, it is. Oh no!
And that's
Sports!
The thing. It comes
No!
down to like, we're not big sports guys, but holy shit, Rocket League just nails it. That's how sports should be.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I just love the fact when you hit it into the goal, like a big explosion happens, all the cars go flying. Like that is just cool.
It's very victorious.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
It's great. And then the last game I played was Diablo. I actually started a new seasonal character, a new monk. That game has seen tremendous improvements since it was first released in like 2013, I think.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Forever improved.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like I was going to swear off the game, but with the improvements that they've made over the past couple years have been just been great. And the new seasonal stuff, just the feedback loop of getting new items and getting loot is just fantastic. Like they got a good feel for that game right now, and that game is best enjoyed when played with other people.
Of course.
Yes, for sure. So I got my Skype going, played with a couple friends, and started my seasonal character at level 8 and got to level 40. So
Good job.
Like once you're doing that and getting a good feel, like you just keep going. We played for a couple hours, so that was good too. But I was like, man, guys, I really gotta go. I've got other things I need to do.
I got shit to do.
Yeah. I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, so basically everything we covered today, it's like, what do you guys think? Obviously, you enjoy Let's Plays if you're here, or at least you enjoy our podcast, so, thumbs up on that one, too.
Yay.
But what do you guys do for Let's Plays? Like, do you watch them religiously? Do you save them and you burn through a whole bunch of episodes? Who do you like to watch? I love to always experience kind of new Let's Plays and stuff like that, so if you know of the smaller guys who need some subscribers and stuff like that, love to get in and watch some of that stuff.
I'm going to shout out for the acquaintances because I really enjoy their stuff.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
That is true. Even though I think that's why I
They
didn't
have like
think
less
of them
than
first,
200
is because
subscribers, but like
they don't have a lot,
they're
and
funny.
they don't post a lot. But when they post, it's big.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's fucking A1 when they do it. So
Mhm.
they do an excellent job with their videos, and they're fucking hilarious. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's. But yeah, so yeah, who do you like to watch? We want to know who you like to watch. We want to know kind of some feedback on the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. Like, do you think he was on point? I hope you don't think he was, but you know, everyone has their
Oh yeah, you can have your opinion.
that's
about
fair.
it and stuff like that. And yeah, tell us what you're playing and maybe some future topics that you'd love to for us to talk about, because you know or just do Q&A in general too.
Yeah.
So we'd love to answer your questions and answer your comments and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So I guess until next week, don't forget to
Like,
Comment.
and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next KitaCast.
KitaCast out.
that's a thing.
I did say it'll do it every time.
When you said the flock, I was gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh.
I was like, "Damn, I should